Okay, welcome back. Chapter 4, Part 2. I was beginning to understand better. I looked at the little figures that were following me, all in the same costume, everyone's face hairless and soft. These people of the future were alike, not only in costume, but it was hard even to tell the men and the women apart. I noticed the ease and security in which these people lived and thought to myself that a man's strength and a woman's gentleness, the family structure, and different occupations were all necessary in an age in which physical force and violence exist. But here, where population is balanced and violence is rare, bearing too many children becomes a problem. There is no necessity for an efficient family in such a state. We can see the beginnings of this in our own time, and in this future age it was complete. This is what I had presumed at the time. Later I was to find out how far removed my idea was from reality. While I was dwelling on these things, my attention was drawn to a pretty little structure, a round well-like opening. It was odd that wells still existed, but ignoring that, I returned to my earlier thoughts. There were no large buildings at the top of the hill, and having walked much faster than my followers, I was finally alone. With a strange sense of freedom and adventure, I pushed on up to the peak. There I found a seat on some yellow metal, rusted and moss covered in places, the armrest shaped like the head of griffins. I sat down and took in the broad view of our world under the setting sun. Below is the valley of the Thames, great palaces dotting the greenery. Some of them were in ruins, some were occupied. There were no hedges, no signs of ownership, no evidence of agriculture. The whole earth had become a garden. Seeing this, I began to understand what the signs meant, although afterwards I found I had arrived at only a half truth. It seemed to me that I was witnessing the decline of humanity. The efforts mankind had made to create a civilized society had led to an odd result, yet it seemed like a logical end. I could see that the civilizing process, what makes life easier and more secure, had reached its heights. The work was done. Humanity had triumphed over nature, and the result was what I saw. Agriculture and medicine are still at a basic stage. The science of our time has attacked only a few of our diseases, but we're making advancements steadily. Our agriculture can improve our favorite plants and animals, producing seedless grapes and convenient cattle, but our knowledge is still very limited. We are clumsy in the way we deal with nature. Someday all of this will be better organized. The whole world will be intelligent and educated. We will move closer to controlling nature till its offerings suit all our human needs. This process has been completed successfully in the years my time machine had leaped. The air was free from gnats, the earth from weeds and fungi. Everywhere I saw fruits and delightful flowers. Diseases had been eradicated. Society had gone through magnificent changes as well. I saw mankind living in splendid shelters, gloriously clothed. There were no signs of struggle anywhere. Shops, advertisements, traffic, all the things that belong to the world of commerce were gone. It seemed to be a social paradise. The problem of growing population had been solved too. Population had ceased to increase. But had mankind adapted well to these changes? What in a perfect world is the purpose of human intelligence and energy? I asked myself. It was hardship and difficulty that forced men to be capable, patient, and strong. It was within the institution of the family that emotions like jealousy, tenderness, and devotion were born, as parents strove to protect their children from dangers. But where were these dangers now? I thought of the physical smallness of the people, their lack of intelligence, and those great massive buildings, and it reaffirmed my belief in the perfect conquest of nature. After the battle had come quiet. Humanity had been strong, energetic, and intelligent, and had used all of its vitality to change the conditions under which it lived. Under the new conditions of perfect comfort and security, our restless energy, which was once our strength, would become our weakness. In a state of physical balance and security, intellectual and physical power would be out of place. I could see that for years there had been no war or violence, no danger from wild beasts, and no need for toil. In such a state, those who were weak once were now better off than the strong, who would be able to find no outlet for their energy. The beautiful buildings I saw were, no doubt, the last products of man's energy before he settled down in what was to be the world's last great peace. The fate of energy existing in a state of security is this. First it takes to art, slowly giving way to weariness and decay. Even this artistic passion would be at last die away, had almost died in the time I saw. To decorate themselves with flowers, to dance, to sing in the sunlight, that was all that was left of the artistic spirit, soon to be replaced by a satisfied inactivity. As I sat there in the gathering darkness, I thought I had understood entirely the problem of the world, discovered the secret of these strange people. It was possible that the checks they had kept on population increase had succeeded too well, their numbers diminishing. That would account for the abandoned ruins. Very simple was my explanation, and believable enough as most strong wrong theories are. All right, that is it for today in our reading. I will see you guys tomorrow.